to Osun State elections. The 2022 governorship election in Osun State is upon us, and all eyes are on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to conduct a credible poll. Ahead of the election on Saturday, INEC said out of the 1.9 million registered voters in the state, 1.5 million voters, or 76%, have collected their permanent voter cards. And as of Sunday, 10th of July, the Commission has promised to ensure a level playing field for all political parties. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, said 21,000 police officers would be deployed for the July 16 governorship election. Baba, who stated this at INEC stakeholders meeting in Osogbo, insists that the deployment is not to intimidate residents, but to prevent miscreants from hijacking or disrupting the process. PKO, INEC says 1.5 million PVCs have been collected. Any implication for this election, or how impressed are you?
No, I think it's, the rate of collection is impressive, it's significant, because if INEC registered 1,955,657 and 1,479,595, or 76% have collected. I think 76% is a good pass mark. And don't forget, apart from this election, we have elections next year. So there could be some people who may not take part in this election, but the general election that we have next year, they are going to be active participants. So I expect that the collection will continue. If the collection continues and they are able to push it up to like 86 or even 90%, that would be very, very impressive. And that would suggest to us that turnout for the general election and this one may just be impressive too. So I think that the rate of collection shows that our people are taking the matter of who governs them seriously. Because for people to even come out to register in the first place, you know the sacrifice that's involved. Some of them will go and line up as early as 5 a.m. It's because they want to be involved in the decision making, in choosing their leaders, and that is that's significant. I'm impressed. I hope that this trend continues. Our people need to take politics seriously. If we don't get involved in picking our leaders, then whoever emerges as our leader, we have no right to complain.
All right, Olabisi, let me have your thoughts about that.
Yeah, I also think that the fact that INEC is also using some kind of technology now. More technology is being deployed in election. It means that votes are likely to count more now, and because of that, your voter's card now matters. I think for Osun, I don't think we've got this large percentage in recent times of collection rates. So I also expect that it's not going to end at collection rate. People are going to go out and actually vote, because at the end of the day, the percentage of people that vote on election day is what really matters, not just having the voter's card and putting it under one's bed. So let's wait till Saturday and see also the number of voters that will go out, and now compare the figure to the number of people that got their voter's card.
All right, joining us to give us more updates is our senior political correspondent, Ayodele Ozubeko. Hello, Ayo, good evening.
Good
All
evening,
right.
Jumoke.
All right. Can you quickly give us what's the mood like in Osogbo ahead of Saturday's election?
Yes, Jumoke, it's all about campaign. And yesterday, the All Progressive Congress, they actually had their mega rally and at the stadium. Today, I just came back from the mega rally and the grand finale, the final rally of the Labour Party, where they had their presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, in attendance. I think this will be the first time that Mr. Peter Obi will be attending a rally like this. And out of curiosity, a lot of people, you know, Peter Obi has this momentum ahead of the 2023 election. A lot of people, out of curiosity, came out to come and see Mr. Peter Obi, the Director General of his campaign, Doyin Okukwe, Wale Okuni, a member of the Third First, and they all came to rally support for the former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, that's Honorable Lasu Yusuf. Now, Lasu Yusuf used to be a member of the All Progressive Congress, and he wasn't satisfied with the fallout of the primaries. Lasu Yusuf had to seek greener pasture in the Labour Labour Party. Sorry, he had always been a member of the All Progressive Congress, a one-time member of the People's Democratic Party, from the People's Democratic Party to the APC, and from the APC down to the Labour Party now. And he wants to make his mark, and he wants to latch upon the momentum of the Labour Party across the country to make his mark ahead of Saturday's election. He expressed optimism that he is going to win that election, and Mr. Peter Obi is going to be back to Osogbo to actually celebrate his victory party. That rally was held at the Women Development Center. I have a package that will be played later on in a subsequent news bulletin. And moving on now, we hear that the former vice president, that's Atiku Abubakar, is going to be in town tomorrow to lead the campaign, the final campaign of Senator Adeleke, that's of the People's Democratic Party. The difference between what is happening in Ekiti, that what happened in Ekiti and Osun now, is that we have most of the gladiators turning up. And if you agree with me, the three dominant political parties that people are talking about today, the People's Democratic Party, the All Progressive Congress, and the resurgence of the Labour Party. Everybody, Mr. Peter Obi was here, Bola Tinubu was here yesterday, and Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is expected in town for the final rally of the People's Democratic Party. That is, tomorrow is going to be the last day. After 12 tomorrow, that will be the final whistle for campaign. So on Friday, we're going to have security on display, show of force, and the Independent National Electoral Commission. And don't forget that since the Ekiti election, they resolved not to be taking the sensitive materials to the Central Bank of Nigeria for safekeeping. So it was experimented in Ekiti State that, look, they will bring it to INEC office, all accounts, their headquarters here in Osogbo, and they will distribute across the over 3,000 polling units and distribute to the local government before election dates, and they put measures in place to make sure that they are not feeling the absence of that safekeeping of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Now going to Beavers, for Ekiti election, it recorded more than 70% in terms of the pass mark. It was given a pass mark of more than 70%, and they didn't have the issues recorded in Anambra, the issues recorded in other states that they've had this staggered election before now. The Beavers machine performed better in Ekiti, and they were able to get their IT department to put things in shape. So far, so good. Ahead of Saturday's election, we hope that INEC will improve on its performance in Ekiti State. But the INEC chairman said something at the stakeholders meeting yesterday. He expressed a kind of fear about the new syndrome creeping into our electoral system, that's vote buying. There's no how you can set up a system, permanent system from the polling units. Your results should be uploaded from ECAT and everything. But if the umpire, if they're able to monitor this system, that does not stop that menace of vote buying. In Ekiti State, we saw the resurgence of this very, very worrisome phenomenon, vote buying, and they are looking forward that, look, they will be able to work with security operatives in Osun State to make sure that they curtail the increase in vote buying. But people, politicians that are capitalizing on the unemployment rate, the poverty in the land, to weaponize the poverty.
Now, INEC has announced 76% collection rate for the PVCs, meaning that more than 1.9 million people registered, but a little over 1.4 million of such people have collected the PVCs. Their PVCs. Does this have anything to do with the importance that the people of Osun State attached to the election, to this particular election? Do you see this translating to huge turnout on election day?
On Saturday. If you look at the INEC, if you look at their demography, and if you look at the latest statistic they've churned out, I'm sure Osun State is going to be number 1 or number 2 in terms of PVC collection rates, as in they've done so well. Maybe they are preparing for the 2023 general election, or they are preparing for this election. But for Osun State to have recorded over 75% of that collection rate, I'm sure that it's, waking up to their responsibility that they have to elect somebody that they want on Saturday. So the interest is high, and I see a kind of election that is going to be keenly contested. Keenly contested. I don't want to believe that people will go through this, because it's another thing for you to register through the Independent National Electoral Commission. It's another thing for you. A lot of abandoned PVC in INEC now, over 1 million nationwide abandoned PVC that people were not able to pick. So your ability to pick up your PVC is that you want to do something with that PVC, and Osun is a test case that the level of political awareness, it's quite encouraging, especially from the South, because we've not seen this kind of thing in the South before, because the turnout, the collection rate, turnout for election is always very, very low in the South. When it comes to the northern part of the country, the awareness is higher. So Saturday, we are going to now juxtapose the number of people that collected the PVC to the number of people that will actually turn out for the exercise on Saturday. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Senior Political Correspondent Ayodele Ozuweko. Thank you for the updates. Thank you very much. All right, let's get back to our discussion. Like Ayo confirmed, there is so much optimism in Osogbo already. But then let's go into this. I remember for the Ekiti governorship election, we commended INEC's output at the election, especially with improved technology. Bikere, is there any hope of improvement on Saturday?
Yes, I'm confident that INEC will continue to improve. If you look at the trend, the elections are getting better in terms of the fidelity of the process. I think that we have to admit that things are getting better. Look at the way the Edo election went. Before INEC announced the results, we already knew the winner because we were monitoring it, via the INEC portal. The same thing happened in Ondo State, where the off-season election took place after that of Edo. We followed the same pattern. The people were able to know the winner before the official announcement, because you can actually monitor the pattern of voting, how the process was going through the INEC portal made available to the public. So I want to believe that INEC will keep improving. INEC will keep justifying the huge financial outlay at its disposal. So, and the only problem is what we talked about earlier, the matter of vote buying. No matter how no matter the number of reforms that we introduce to make our elections more credible, it diminishes us as a people to see the way politicians are buying people's conscience, on election day, giving them money, so that they can vote for them. And if INEC says don't bring your phone to the voting centers, I think that security agents should be able to enforce that, because people are now using these phones to snap their ballots so that they can show those who will pay them. I mean, it's something that I hate to talk about. I want to see the law enforced in Osun State. People should not go to the point of snapping their ballot and then going to line up somewhere where they will be paid. The security agents must rise to the occasion. Wherever they see this, they must move in and arrest such people. Politicians bribing people to vote for them, they also deserve to be arrested. No one should go against the law of the land.
All right, Olabisi, let's talk about deployment of 21,000 police personnel. We had this same number at the Ekiti governorship election, but we still saw a very high level of votes trading. What exactly should stand out this time?
Well, for Osun election, I think we should prevent violence at all costs.
Okay.
You remember the last election, there was some inconclusive elections in some parts of the state because of violence and all of that. So this time around, we want to see a very, very peaceful election across all the local government areas, including the interior places in that state. 21,000 policemen, they are quite huge, and they should be able to do much. But how many of them will be deployed?
Strategically?
Yes, and that is what is very important. Let them look at the volatile areas and ensure that they deploy more people, more force to those areas to prevent any form of ballot snatching. Because you know that this time around now, with the BMS and all the improvements in INEC's technological deployments, there is a lot of improvements. And even the fact that once you cast your vote, it's being counted, you count it from the ward, and you know what it is, and it goes straight to the INEC central portal and all of that. So the possibility of manipulating figures has actually reduced to a large extent. So what we are likely to see is to see some people that know that they are not strong in certain areas trying to invoke violence so that they can disrupt the system. That is what should be fought against this time around. We should make sure that that does not happen. And also, this issue of vote buying, I think we need to deal with it. But unfortunately, we in Ekiti, I don't think we have prosecuted anybody for.
We only saw a few persons that have been arrested.
I have not seen that case go beyond arrest. And if we don't prosecute, we are not discouraging the act.
All right, Ayo just confirmed to us that INEC has the fears already of vote buying. And I know you always call this a very shameful trend.
Yes, INEC can only try. But it's up to the security agencies, and I think it's up to the politicians themselves to change their ways. INEC said it was going to redesign the voting cubicles so that you can't spy on the person voting easily. But we've seen situations in which politicians positioned people, positioned even security men who are seen dispensing money to people on the queue right there. As they were collecting their ballots, they were giving them money. I saw a video from Bauchi State. This is not fiction. This is what I saw. The INEC official sat down and was giving people money right there. Nobody behaved like this thing was wrong. So how can we make this shameful trend a part of our culture? We've got to find a way to stop it. Got to find a way to stop it, because no matter what we say, oh, INEC is doing well, INEC is improving, this rubbishes the whole essence of trying to find an electoral system that makes everyone happy. Because the person who has been outspent, or the one who has not got money to buy votes on election day, no matter what he's got to offer, he will not be happy.
All right.
So we must find a way to stop it. The National Assembly must come up with a law, except that some of them too could actually be one of among people buying votes. But
right.
they should be able to come up with a law that terribly criminalizes vote buying. You know, something that punishes vote buying sufficiently.
All right. Thank you very much, BKO. That's all we can take on the program today. Thank you, Madam Olabisi. Thank you for the robust contribution. All right, that's all on Journalist Hangouts. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangouts on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.